Ooh, so Berserk Manga. I loved it. I really this dream and everything, it just makes everything go. It's like going through a memory lane. You just walk through it and see all these pictures and you get all the books and you're like, oh, that time it was so fun and enjoyable. Of course, not everything with Guts and Casca is enjoyable, but some things are like wow, that happened. And of course stuff is like you where oh, where the little witch couldn't see what Casca and Guts of course were doing, having intercourse. But that was fun, of course. I used the thumbnail as it just because. It is still very interesting, though. They go through this journey in their dreams, collecting all these puzzle pieces of the doll. And there is somebody she wants to see. It's for everybody who's been watching the manga, and if you're watching this, probably you already know it, and if you don't, well, you should be watching out with what I'm going to say, but that's always with manga. So, I mean, the relationship that Casca has with Griffith and Guts is so complicated. It is like insane. I don't know any relationship that's that complicated. It's like, well, she sort of likes Guts, but now she's afraid of him, and something happened with her brain and messed all this stuff up. And she also likes sort of Griffith still. I don't know if that's how 100% she's after that, but well, Griffith did some stuff that's also not really correct, and oh man. Just thinking about it gets me emotional and weirded out because I see all these other kind of stuff and the sect and the fetishes and the beast and the oh man, it's just too much. And if you've seen or read the manga, you know what I'm talking about. There is crazy stuff going on in that manga, and that's coming all into my mind, of course, because I'm visual and I love to think about things and see them lively. So that's a problem, but that's not what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is how this journey is going through and how they go to somewhere and she wants to see somebody. I don't know if it's Griffith, because Guts is sort of carry her around. She doesn't probably know that, or the little cascada puppet thingy inside of the other puppet. But it's very interesting. I'm wondering how things are going, and of course they get more in-depth realization about how Guts has grown up, and what happened with Casca, Griffith, everything around it. Some bigger sense about what happened, and maybe more respect and understanding for that, and that's something that in real life is very hard to get, because you can never really understand what somebody went through. Even though you want it, you cannot always understand that, and sometimes it is, well, hard to say good that you can understand them, because some things are so terrible even though that person probably doesn't want you to totally understand that, because it's like wishing somebody dead. It's like, no, you don't want them, or you don't want them to feel this pain, even though you wish people could understand you more. But it's probably that the only people that can understand you in a way is people that have experienced the same thing, and sometimes it's very hard, of course, depending on the situation. But with Guts, yeah, Guts have been through some messed up stuff, and even though this all happening still is through a shitload of stuff happening, with it's just unimaginable. But it's nice to see how things are going, and the manga is still continuing. I really appreciate that. It's one of the things I think is so amazing, is that it still is continuing. And even though it doesn't always write that much, it doesn't matter, because you know that after a while there will be a chapter out. And that's something that with some series I wish they took more time, like I wish I could say the names of the mangaka and the writers and all this stuff, but I don't, because I don't remember names. And it's even a miracle that I remember Oda, her whatever. I don't know the other names. It's terrible, and I feel like stupid because it makes me think like, oh, I'm only know Oda and the rest not. I've known them. I haven't talked about him in a long time. But I mean, like other writers, like with Hunter x Hunter, I wish he would do something more in that approach. Like, just make something. And if you don't like it anymore, just do it whenever you want again. Just like with the writer of the star of Berserk. Oh, I need to search his name because this is terrible. It's pretty hard to understand how you feel, how I would feel about it. I'm sorry about the plane that's coming over. I have my windows open. It's really hot in here, so please understand that. But I mean, Miura, Kentaro. So Kentaro Miura, well, I understand that if you, well, Berserk has been a long time where there was nothing, or there were episodes or weeks or months with nothing, and then a month there was something, and then there was like a half year nothing, or like every month or every 2 months there was something. But you knew he didn't stop really, he would continue. So it's something you look out to, even if it takes 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, especially with Berserk. The quality is on a high level here, and it still is, even though people are saying, well, the quality is not that great anymore. I don't know where if you've been looking at or where you've been reading your manga, but I mean, the quality is still top notch. I think there is probably almost none other manga at this moment that is really up that level. And I'm serious about it. I'm really serious. It is so great to see that some mangaka is still that dedicated into it. And I know it's very hard. At first saying when you see other mangas and mangakas and having a real tough time, and animators of course also, because they have a really stressful time of course with all the stuff they have to do. But sometimes, and I know many people say that, but I really mean it. I think quality over quantity is something that should be happening, but it's probably never going to happen because that's not how this system works, sadly. But I'm very curious about what is going to happen next, and I think it was on a hiatus, or when will it be back, in July or something? Don't know if it says, oh wait, late June. So like it's now May, so late June will be like around a month later. It's nothing that surprises me, and I have no problem with it. Like I expect it. It's like, alright, a month, it's good, and that's what I enjoyed, even though it takes some time. That's all I got. Thanks so much for watching. Really appreciate it. If you want to say something in the comments, do that. If you want to like it, you can do that also. I've got some buttons here. You can click to subscribe right there. And, well, some other things if you want to watch them. You can do that, but you don't have to. I really appreciate that you're already watching this. If you are, have a great day. Hope I'll see you next time. Goodbye.